Dear students, we are going to learn journal entries today. Before we learn it, let's get our basics strong. In accounts, we use debit and credit as a language of expression. Every debit has an equal credit. That is why we call it double entry system. The question is, when do we credit and debit? And to know that, let's learn the traditional rule of accounting, which is also called the golden rule. It is divided into three: personal account, real account, and nominal account. When we talk about personal account, let's understand it's all about living. When we talk about real account, it's all about non-living assets. And nominal account is all about expenses and income. Now, talking about personal account, the rule is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Examples are debtors, the person who is supposed to pay you, or it could be Anish account. Anyone who has got life comes under this category and we call it as natural personal account. XYZ company. Now a company in accounts is also called as artificial person. So that also falls under this account. Outstanding rent, which is a liability. Accrued income, which is an asset. It falls under this head because they are representative personal account. It means they represent somebody. If there is outstanding rent, that means it represents the landlord. So that's what your personal account is. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Talking about real account, as I mentioned, it's non-living assets. Debit what comes in, credit what goes out, like machinery, goodwill, cash, investment. If I'm buying a machinery is coming in the business, I will debit it. But what happens? I have to pay the cash. Cash is going out, so it has to be credited. Talking about nominal account, it is all about your expense and income. The word expense can also be replaced by the word loss. Same thing, the word income can be replaced by the word gain. Salaries paid is a monthly expense of the business. It has to be debited. Same time, if rent received, whenever the word received comes, you should understand it is a income for the business, so it should be credited. The golden rule, okay, has been used to derive the modern rule, and the modern rule is even more easier. There are four pillars in modern rule: asset, liability, expense, and income. Assets generally carries a debit balance. So anytime you want to increase an asset, like the earlier example, machinery purchased, what did you do? Machinery you debited. That's the rule of real account, right? Debit what comes in. Now you can take it in another way. Look it into another way. Machinery is an asset, so asset is increasing, so you got to debit it. So look into the modern classification. The asset side is increasing whenever you debit. Same time, when you have to reduce the asset, you have to credit it. In the earlier example, cash went out. What did you do? You credited. So that's what we do. When the asset has to be reduced, you got to credit. Liabilities. Liabilities carries an exactly opposite balance of an asset. The liability carries credit balance. So anytime you take a loan, the loan has to be credited because loan is a liability. But when you take a loan, what happens? Cash increases, asset increases, so the asset has to be debited. That is, cash has to be debited. Same thing, if a liability has been paid off, you have a creditor and you're paying him off. What you're supposed to do then? You're supposed to debit the creditor. That's how you reduce it. Expenses carries a debit balance. Debit balance means salaries paid, commission paid, any expenses, depreciation is a loss. You got to debit it. Income should be credited. All right. So let me put it in a nutshell. The rule states to increase asset, you got to debit it. To increase liability, you got to credit it. To record expenses, debit. When income is to be recorded, credit it. I hope this part is clear. This is the most important aspect of accounts. Unless you know this part, you cannot touch or you cannot understand any other accounting chapter. So now let's move on to journal entries. The proprietor starts business with cash. Now, every journal entry when you're doing, you have to consider it from the accounting point of view, but from the business aspect, not from the proprietor's aspect, because we are doing accounting for the business. All right. And we are going to do a double entry system. So there should be two effect. So any statement given to you, you should be able to identify what are the two effect. Proprietor starts business with cash and furniture. Now from a business point, cash has come in the business, asset has come in. So if asset comes in, you have to debit the asset. Now proprietor is putting money. So what does that mean? It means capital, and capital is a liability. So liability carries which balance? Credit balance. So that's how our journal entry would be written. Cash account debit to capital account. Look into each and every examples given here, which will help you to understand the debit and credit rule. I will move down to one of the tricky ones, that is interest on capital. Now, what is interest on capital for a business? Capital is a liability. That means it is like a loan. So interest on capital is the money the firm has to pay for the loan taken. That means it's a loss. That is why interest on capital is debited and capital is credited. All right. And then look into the next part. I will take you through with the sale of goods costing 10,000 at 10% profit. So what happens over here? Sale is a revenue. You got to credit it. And what comes here? Cash. So cash account debit to sales account. Look into the purchase part. This is one thing which students usually get confused. Trade discount and cash discount. Now talking about trade discount, this is something which is calculated but not recorded. So you have to calculate the amount and understand what is your actual purchase. So over here, you're purchasing goods of 10,000 from Mr. X at 10% trade discount. So your actual purchase is 9,000. So purchase should be debited. It's an expense and purchase should be debited as 9,000. And then you have to record the cash discount. All right. So the example, I hope it's very much clear. What is bad debts? The bad debts word itself is derived from debtors. Debtors are the person supposed to pay you, but if they become insolvent, it is called as bad debts. It's a loss, you got to debit it. And what you will credit? Because the debtor is not going to pay you, you got to reduce your debtor. You have to reduce an asset. And how do you reduce the asset? By crediting the asset. All right. The next part again is something which students don't understand. Goods lost by fire amounting 4,000, 1,500 claimed by insurance. Goods lost by fire is 4,000. Is that the loss for you? No, 4,000 is not the loss here because insurance is going to give you 1,500. So your actual loss is only 2,500. That has to be debited. So goods lost by fire should be 2,500. Insurance should be debited by 1,500 because that is insurance has become a debtor for you. They are supposed to pay you. That's why you're debiting. And what do you credit here? You credit 4,000 to the purchase account. Please understand, when you purchase a good, you debit it. But now the goods are going out, so you are crediting the purchase. All right. Look into the remember part and I am very sure you will understand each and every aspect. You can contact me on the WhatsApp number or you can email me your doubt. I would suggest all of you to try this test, take a snapshot, try this test and send the papers to me. I will definitely correct and reply you back. Thank you.